How's it going, everybody? This will be a hopefully quite succinct video to go over the steps on getting the Galahorn in the new Rise of Iron DLC, if you are lucky enough to have gotten onto a server today. I'm not going to waste any time. First off, the quest line you need to take to get this going is a side quest called Echoes of the Past, and this will be key. And this will become available to you once you've completed the main storyline. The main storyline is impressively short. But once you've done it and you return to this, the new social area, the Iron Temple or Felwinter's Peak, which is available through Earth, some of the handlers will give you quest lines. And this one is from the new Crypt Arc, will be to complete the anomaly scan patrol near Archon's Keep. So to do this, you need to head to the new and improved patrol area on Earth, which is called the Plaguelands, and head to Archon Keep. I'm going to mention now that before you set off to do this mission, you will need a splicer key. This is a inventory item which will drop randomly from enemies on patrol, but they drop very reliably from enemies called brood mothers that you can find in the patrol anywhere, and they're essentially just shielded hive witches. They're not hard to find. There's plenty wafting around, but I am going to show you somewhere where you can find one which is very near the area you need to be in anyway. But once you have one, or if you just want to head there anyway, you need to head to the Archon's Keep, and the easiest way to do this is to actually turn your sparrow around from your spawn point and just follow the main road until you reach this kind of forge looking area here. And these are the patrol missions you can see, and you've just got to pick them until you find the one which is to scan the anomaly. Over here on the right is where I found a brood mother once, and as you can see, once we kill her, everybody who put damage into her gets a splicer key straight off the bat. So that's a pretty easy way to get one, but you will need one to get to the end of this mission. After you have the mission and the splicer key, it's a fairly simple process of just following the waypoints as usual, like any mission or any patrol mission. And you'll be going through this building at the top of the hill and fighting your way through a lot of rooms, a few areas, and eventually, once you've cleared this area, you'll reach this door with lasers across it, and that will require the splicer key to open. And once you've opened it, you can continue the mission. And these are many of the same areas you go through during the final story mission, in fact. Eventually you'll reach a larger room with a spider tank at the end, and that spider tank will actually be blocking the object that you need to scan to do the mission, so you'll have to destroy that spider tank. And once that's down, you'll be able to scan the object behind it, which is an iron medallion, and it looks like a little wolf head. And this will lead on to the second part of the mission. So that's step 1 done, and when you return to the Iron Temple, you'll be told you need to collect 7 more of these little wolf head medallions, and these are dotted around on patrol areas, and I'm going to make this as simple as possible. I didn't find them in the best order, but I'm going to put them in this video in the probably most efficient order that I can think of to make it a lot easier for you if you haven't collected them. Because I'm nice like that. But essentially they're hidden around like ghosts are, but they're a little bit easier because once you get within a certain distance of them, they'll actually get a little symbol above them, a little waypoint, which will show you where they are. But still, they can be a little bit difficult to find. So while you are still in the Iron Temple, if you go to this staircase here, which is just down from the main building, it'll be on the right hand side once you accept that part of the mission. You're going to do a little jumping puzzle up the side of this mountain. I would recommend only one person go at a time, as it is a little narrow and you end up kind of just pushing each other off a lot. But once you get to the top, you'll find your first medallion there. Once that's done, you need to go to the Patrol the Plaguelands again, and you're basically going to be following the same route you took for that first step. So straight off the spawn, this little shack right in front of you over here, you're going to run over to that, and if you jump in the window, just go through the door, then on that little shelf on the right hand side, you're going to find your second medallion. Once you pick that up, get on your sparrow, and you're essentially following the exact same route as you did in the first part of the quest line, except this time we're going to be stopping off at each area and essentially just picking up a medallion in each area of the new patrol zone. So this is kind of, I think, designed to get you used to the new patrol area a bit more. So you're going to come to this bunker and you're going to head off to the right hand side, and essentially you're going to be going up this little set of stairs and the first door on the left. I've used a couple of different areas of clips, so that's why my gun's going to suddenly change, but the next medallion is just inside that little door. And when you come back out, you're going to jump on your sparrow again, and we're going to continue around on the circuit. And the next area you're looking for is a large bridge, and the Medallion is going to be under one of these little pods. It's actually the one on the right hand side here. I'm going to add the footage of me getting it. This was actually during the strike, I think, or one of the missions. I can't quite remember which one, but it will take you to this area anyway. But as you can see, it's not actually in view. You've got to rely on that little symbol coming up above it, and you can just bend down and pick it up there. And that's your next one done. Next, so we're going to carry on over the bridge, and we're going to carry on right round back to the Archon Keep. As I say, exactly the same areas as we went on the first step. We're going to be retracing your steps a lot here. And as soon as you reach the Archon's Keep, you're going to head straight up to the left. And on the left hand side, right outside this building that we went into for the first step, there's a little rubbish heap here. And the next medallion is going to be next to this old tin can. After you collect this one, I'm sorry to say, you've got to go back into the building, and you're going to have to clear a lot of the same areas as you did on the way to the spider tank, and basically you're going to go all the way back to that door that you needed the splicer key for, and to the left of the door over here in the corner of the room is your next medallion. Good news is there's only one left after this, and we're going to head back out of the building, and we're going to carry on around. I'm actually going to go around basically to the start of the patrol area almost. I don't know if you want to, I don't know if it's quicker to quit back out and come back in or not. Do not take this route that I'm taking off the start here. You actually need to take the far left route, and you're going to carry on all the way around the coast, and it's essentially near back where we started the patrol zone in the first place. And it's worth mentioning that I actually found this medallion while doing a mission, the Wretched Eye. I think it's actually the strike. This will take you right through the area where this last medallion is, but I'm going to show you where it is anyway. I didn't actually record myself picking it up, but I can guarantee exactly where it is. But you're going to go all the way over to this cliff, and there's a little bit of a jump puzzle here. This almost looks like the edge of a map, and that you can't get up here, but just keep trying, and you can actually just get up here, and this will open up into a new kind of area full of cargo containers, and you're going to head off to the right hand side here. And if you look down on this side, you're going to look for this cargo container with this symbol on, and it's in this corner right where I'm shooting. And that will be the last medallion for you. You're going to return to the tower, you're going to hand that in, and the next is going to be doing a Symbol of Honor mission on Earth. This is a bit of an odd mission. You're actually going to be put on the Bannerfall PvP map, essentially. This is very straightforward. I don't need to really explain anything here. You basically do what you're told. You're going to scan a few maps and some TVs, and you're going to get a little glimpse at some of the bits of the Galahorn here. Have a little bit of a history lesson from your ghosts, yada yada yada. Then some Fallen are going to start dropping in the courtyard. Once you clear them out, you're going to get a defend mission at both of the bridges at the where the spawn points would be on PvP. Not at the same time, one after the other. And once you've done both of those, what it's going to do is spawn a fallen captain in the courtyard, and the final part of the mission will just be to finish him off. And once you kill him, you can return back to the Iron Temple once again, hand that back into the Cryptarch, who's going to give you the next step. Fortunately, we're coming to the end now, and this one could be awkward or it could be very easy, and it's to collect dormant siva across the plague lands on Earth. Now, these are essentially glowing red pieces of siva. They're collectibles. They're like ghosts. Again, they're just lying around like any dead ghost would be, and you may have collected a few during the story missions. If you don't know what they look like, I'll show you here. Fortunately, we already had 4 from doing the story mission. So we only needed 1 more. So you only need to get 5 to do this part of the mission. So we collect this one, and that triggers the end of the mission. I don't know where a lot of them are by heart. Somebody will probably be releasing Siva guides, but otherwise, if you're doing the story missions, keep an eye out for them in like tricky places where you would look for dead ghosts. And once you hand that back into Saladin, he's going to give you the very, very final piece. And you're essentially going to be put onto the Skyshock PvP map. If you've ever had the misfortune of playing this map, it usually only comes up on playlists like Combined Arms, Classic 6v6. But you're going to be given a lot of Fallen to clear out who are already there when you spawn. And then once you've done that, you're going to be redirected to this small room at the top of the map. And there are the final pieces of the Galahorn. Apparently it's put together like Lego. and your ghost is going to sit there putting that together. And meanwhile, it's going to spawn a lot of enemies that you have to defend for. And there's actually a lot of enemies, like quite a lot of enemies turn up. But what we did find was that the amount of enemies is finite, and at about 80% done, they actually just stopped spawning altogether, and we just had to wait the rest of this 20% out while the ghost did his thing. But once it gets there, you will get the option to claim your Galahorn, or at least the fireteam leader will. It didn't come up on my screen.
Oh baby, there it is.
But once they claim it, you will both get the weapon. And from there, I basically have what I think is essentially like an optional part of the mission, because you've already got your weapon, you could just leave now. But a load of enemies spawn and unlimited heavy boxes, and you can basically just shoot stuff. I mean, why not? You've got a Galahorn, you may as well. And once you've done that, you'll receive the final step of the mission, which is pretty much nothing. You just say it to Saladin, he says well done, takes it off your quest roster, and that's it done. You now have a Galahorn. Congratulations. Tell me if you found this useful, hope you did. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you next video.